Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again, and welcome back to another video. Well, this will be the second part of my, Tales of a Diecast Collector, little, I guess you call it a mini-series, whatever you want to call it. Today's topic we'll be talking about COT diecast and how I became, just obsessed with these freaking things. Why they are my favorite freaking diecasts ever, and how I got started collecting them. So, this is going to be a really fun video. So, basically how I got started into collecting COT diecasts and why I love them so much. So, basically in 2010, Lionel bought Action Racing Collectibles, and basically the retail line was doomed. They stopped carrying NASCAR diecasts at my local retail store. So, I'll be honest with you, I was out of collecting for 2010, 2011, and 12. I was done with the hobby because all my cars I got locally. Well, guess what? Back in 2013, I started watching some videos, right? I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I noticed that there was so many people doing collection videos, and it inspired me to want to collect more diecasts. And I remember, I'll never forget it, guys. I'll never forget it. That in 2013, I got a, I think it was a 40 car lot, 20 or 30 car lot, right, on eBay. And it had some COTs in there. And I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. So, like, my love for NASCAR diecasts was completely just re-sparked, right? It's like a brand new spark plug, just boom, ready to go. This was about March 2013. And I remember getting those cars. And it had two COTs in there. A 2008 Michael Waltrip and a 2008 Tony Stewart Home Depot. And I tell you what, I had those three cars, man. I was like, these are freaking awesome. Because at the time, all the stop motion cats, they had the COT collection, right? They had the COTs, they had the 2011s and 2012s. Well, I wanted to be one of the cool kids, and I wanted to have the COTs because I thought they were the freaking coolest diecasts out there. So 2013, as the year goes on, I start realizing that, man, I want to get back into collecting. I want to get back into collecting. And slowly but surely, I would get maybe one or maybe two COTs a month. I'd get 164 diecasts. And very, very thankful and blessed for it. I could only get two of them at the time as a kid. And I remember like waiting and waiting all month just to pick two cars that I wanted. And it was the coolest thing ever, right? And I remember like getting the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Donington car from 2008, or the three doors down gray ghost looking car. I think it was from 2008 as well. But I just remember, man, the COT market at the time, everybody sold their COTs. They didn't want them. They wanted Gen 6. I'll be honest with you, I did not like the Gen 6 diecast because at the time, I was scared they were going to be unrealistic. I didn't want them. I was like, oh, these things ain't going to look realistic. I don't want them. They're going to probably look like a Hot Wheels car or something. So at the time, I just wanted COTs. So this is 2013, going into 2014, and in 2015, I'm just still collecting them, right? Now in 2014, I did start to collect some Gen 6 diecasts, but I noticed that there were so many COT cars for sale. It didn't matter if it was 2007, 08, or 9, or 10. I remember seeing cars like a 2010 Juan Pablo Montoya or a 2010 David Ruderman for like $10 shipped, right? Maybe $11 shipped. That car has tripled in value nowadays. Everybody didn't want COTs. The dealers had some left over, right? And I was probably one of the dumb idiots that was still wanting these cars. And as the years gone on, the dealers sold out. They don't have any more. And now COTs are looked at as probably the most collectible era of the NASCAR diecast universe, so to speak, because they produced it for only 4 years. And when you consider 2009 being a very down year in terms of production numbers, might be considered 3.5 in all honesty. And you got, what, half of 2007 was only COTs. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's only about 3 to 3.5 years of full production worth of cars. And I tell you what, I just fell in love with them. And slowly, you know, I started out with two cars I got from that box in 2013. I remember I had a 2008 Dale Jr. I got back in 08 because that was like right before my stores quit carrying them. So I had three. And then 3 quickly became 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, etc. And I would just keep collecting them, right? And I noticed around like 2016 and 2017, the COT market started to really get thin. At the time, I didn't know all the cars that were released. So I would check back maybe once or twice every week. And I would see cars I've never seen before. Like, I never knew Carl Edwards had that paint scheme. I never knew Michael Waltrip had that paint scheme. Now I know pretty much all the cars nowadays, but it was just a really cool experience. I love the COT market. I love the COT diecast, and I will say though, it's bittersweet because back in those years, you could collect them. I'm talking, you could collect them easily. There was people who would sell maybe 10 COT cars for like 15 bucks. I mean, they could not get rid of them fast enough. And now I see people selling COT diecast for $10, $15 a piece. It blows my mind. And at the time, I was the only one really collecting them. So it's kind of funny to look back, and I'm just extremely fortunate and blessed to have the cars for one. But it's just crazy to go back and think I started with just 3 COT cars, really, and to have over 150 of them now. A lot of them are customs, granted, but it's just, I love COT diecasts, and, I hope I inspired, maybe inspired some people to collect those, because for a lot of years, they were kind of looked at like as the redhead stepchild of the diecast market. But it's so cool to see people becoming more and more excited about COT cars, and they've dried up in value, yo. Now, when I started getting into collecting, it wasn't like the Red Bull cars were $7.99, okay? The Red Bulls are already long gone, but it was the Carl Edwards alternate paint schemes. It was the Dale Jr. alternate paint schemes. I remember there was one cat that I bought a lot of COTs from. He's probably really happy I did a lot of business with him. Rex Chevy on eBay. I bought a lot of cars from that cat. I remember that dude. I think he had, this is probably 2014. He had Dale Jr. Hallow-Dega 164s, I think for like $10.50. That car's 30 bucks now. Put it that way, because he would have like 20 different COTs. So every few weeks, I would go in there and I would check, and I would look like, oh, there's a David Rudiman car, or oh, Jamie McMurray, I would get all excited. And there's none of them left. They're all bought out, and now the dealers don't have them anymore. The collectors have them, and now that's when the resale inflation comes in, and that's when you see the scalping. So I just kind of wanted to, kind of touch base on why I liked COT diecast so much and why I started collecting them. It just kind of came naturally, I always had the Gen 4 cards, which again, super thankful to get those Gen 4 cards, right? Very blessed to have those things, considering how expensive diecast can be. But out of all the cars in my collection, the COTs hold they hold the most to me, because it just seems like at the time no one wanted them, and I was like, you know what? I'll take them. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. I know these videos don't have much editing to them. It's literally just me talking, drinking coffee here, but I just love talking diecast, It's hard to find people that you could talk about NASCAR with or talking about diecast with in person, so it's cool to be able to do these videos and to talk about, something I'm so passionate about and I love talking about. And it's just crazy, though, because I'll end the video on this. I stopped collecting in around 09, 2010, and that carried to 2011 and 2012. It was weird because I didn't have any 2011 or 2012 cars when they first came out, right? I was completely out of collecting. And it's funny that years later, in 2020, Robbie Noonan gave me all those 2011 and 2012 cars. It just blows my mind that the few years I never collected any of them. I was so fortunate. It pretty much like a miracle, right? And I was able to get like pretty much every single release for free. I still can't believe it to this day, and I tell you what, it was incredible. But yeah, I love collecting COT diecasts. I actually don't even have room for COT cars anymore. I gotta get a new case to put them things in. I have them in my box. Like, I have probably about 10 COT diecasts that I've already built. They're customs, right? I can't even put them in my case because the case is full. So yeah, I definitely got to get some more room for some COT cases to put on the wall. But I love the COT diecast. And one thing that I want to accomplish, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it, but I want to have a COT 164 of every single paint scheme ran in 2007 to 2010. Every single one. All the cars that didn't qualify for the Daytona 500, to all the alternate paint schemes at the Bristol Night Race. I want every single one of them. I want to have all the COTs ever made. That is one thing that kind of strives me to keep making custom COTs. But thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to get free shipping on hats, t-shirts, diecast, I mean, all those freaking diecasts up there, all your 2021 stuff, please use the promo code Diecastbuffet. Any orders, $20 or more, you'll get free shipping. It does help out the channel, so if you want to see more diecast reviews, 124 reviews, and all that good stuff, please use the code the next time you order some cars. Have a great one, everybody. Hopefully Bristol will be a lot of fun. Diecastbuffet, signing off.